I'm here for part 2 of my huge book closeouts book haul. And while I was getting the other video uploaded, I was looking back through this Book of the Moon and realized that, you know what, it actually is a pretty neat book. It's actually a pretty cool book. I think my problem is just because it looks like a textbook, and I think it's all psychological. But it does have some neat things. The Chinese New Year, the influence of the planets, and it's not long. It's only short paragraphs, I guess, just like a textbook would be, but still interesting things. So, chapter 6 is actually the occult, astrology, alchemy, prophecy, fortune-telling, spells, and superstitions. So, it actually sounds pretty neat. So yeah, so that was back in the first one, for my first part. Also, I looked, and they did not charge me for this book. They also sent me all my other books. So, yeah, it looks like I'm going to have this and a book giveaway. So, continuing. The Pact of the Wolves by Nina Blazin. I like that cover. It's just and it's like a, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. What's new? But I like the belly button piercing and just, I don't know, I like the cover. And it's by Anik Press, and I've also noticed that I like books by Anik Press. This one says it is about, it really doesn't tell you a whole lot. I was trying to see if there was a summary, but I don't see one. And it's actually translated too. This is another book that's translated. Translation of Der Bund der Wolf. Now this one is translated by Sue Ennis. Okay, anyway. A boarding school built on the foundations of a medieval convent, haunted by rumors of torture and barbaric rituals. A secret society. An unexplained death. Part thriller, part gothic novel, the spellbinding story catapults 16-year-old Bianca into a sequence of nightmarish events. So that just sounds really good to me. So yeah, I like there's title chapters, or chapter titles, and I like the first letter. I like, just little special things in books. There's a table of contents, too. So that's neat. The next book, I'm just going in order that they're in here. Oh, how neat. Wow, this is a big, big book. This is called A Deadly Game, The Untold Story of the Scott Peterson Investigation. Okay. How come I don't remember ordering this one either? Alright, anyways. Yeah, I'll have to look on my list. I probably did A Deadly Game, but I must not have realized it was about the Scott Peterson investigation. But you know what? That's fine. I had read one book, or was it 2 books, about the Scott Peterson investigation. One was written by his sister, I think. And then the other one was someone on Lacey's side. And they weren't really in depth or anything. I didn't really care for them. Now this one looks pretty massive, so it looks like it's going to say, it has quite a bit of information. And it's definitely got some nice pictures in here. Yeah, so that's kind of nice. Oh, it's even got, wow, look at this. Evidence photos taken at the Petersons' home, including the blue tarp and Mackenzie's leash. Look at that. That is neat. For anybody that likes true crime stuff and that. Wow. That is cool. Oh, so besides for those pictures, ooh, there's a ton of pictures back here. That's in the appendix. Oh, so this is pretty neat. And it's got coroner's report. Wow, okay. this is cool. Very cool. Let me see how many pages this has. Wow. 434 pages. Very, very cool. This is by Catherine Cryer, Court TV host. Wow. Very cool. Now I'm excited. Next thing I got is Abandon by Blake Crouch. And this book, I don't know if you can see, but there are eyes staring out here. It makes it kind of creepy. I like that. This is an adult fiction book. And this one's about, on Christmas Day 1893, every man, woman, and child in a remote mining town will disappear. Belongings forsaken, meals left to freeze in vacant cabins, and not a single bone will be found. Not even the gold that was rumored to have been the pride of this town. 113 years later, two backcountry guides are hired by a leading history professor and his journalist daughter to lead them into the abandoned mining town so they can learn what happened. This has been done once before, but the people who went in did not come out. Joining them are a psychic and a paranormal photographer. The town is rumored to be haunted. They've come to see a ghost town, but what they are about to discover is that 20 miles from civilization, with a blizzard bearing down upon them, they are not alone, and the past is very much alive. So that sounds really good, and that's why I got the book. It says, fast, scary, and smart. Crouch has an innate feel for the violence and avarice that shaped the Old West and a keen sense of how those two sins snake their way through time into the present. The words are a little bit on the small side, at least compared to what I've been reading. This book has 401 pages, so that's not bad. So yeah, that sounds good. This was another book that I had taken out of my cart, or was thinking about taking out of my cart and then put it back in. The next book I got is Saving Francesca by Melina Marchetta. I've heard a lot of people talking about this book lately. I do have Jellicoe Road from her that I've not read yet. But yeah, so this is on there, and I said, you know what, might as well get it, because like I said, a lot of people have been talking about it. I guess the next book to this, The Piper's Son, is supposed to be coming out, which takes place like 5 years after this book, or what happens in this book. So, oh, and it has the ruffled edges, which is neat. But the book itself, like the hard part of the book, comes out so far that you can't really get a feel for the ruffled edges because they're so in there. But it's still very, very cool. Now this book is about, let's see, St. Sebastian's pretends it's a co-ed school by giving the girls their own toilet. The Psycho Girls, the only female companions to be found at St. Sebastian's. Tara Fink, ultra-feminist. Siobhan Sullivan, former slut of St. Stella's Academy. And Justine Kalinsky, impossibly dorky accordion player. The Sebastian Boys. Thomas McKee specializes in musical burping, probably dropped on his head a few times as a baby. Will Tromble, perpetually frowning, smug moron with no personality. Now if only Francesca could stop daydreaming about him. Mia. Hey, Mia. The queen of the limitation placers. Francesca's vivacious mother. Thinks she knows what's best for Francesca and makes her attend the hateful all-boys school. Until the day she is suddenly stricken with acute depression, leaving Francesca lost, alone, and without an inkling of who she really is. So that sounds good. Aside from all the good things I have heard about it. So. Breathing Underwater by Alex Flynn. I'm really excited about this one. After I read, what did I read? Not Beastly. What was the other one, guys? It was the Breaking Point. Ever since I read Breaking Point, which was really good, I wanted to check out her other books, the more realistic ones. And this one is one. The cover is kind of neat. It's like a cartoony thing over here, and it says anger. And then some other stuff in the background. And it says, to his friends, popular and handsome 16-year-old Nick Andreas has led a charmed life, but the guys in Nick's anger management class know differently. So does his ex-girlfriend Caitlin. Now it looks like the only person who doesn't realize just how far from perfect Nick's life has become is Nick himself. So it's about anger issues and that. Then we have The Intruders by E.E. Richardson. So that looks very scary. I love it. Very creepy. On the bottom it says, those who go where they're not wanted don't always get to leave. Very, very cool. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. Joel Demetrius is quite looking forward to moving in with his new stepfamily, but his sister Cassie doesn't want anything to do with Gerald and his two sons. To make matters worse, their new home is practically derelict. Joel is fascinated by the old house, but even he has to admit that there's something not quite right about it. He keeps seeing things out of the corner of his eye, and he's plagued by nightmares of a terrified boy who repeats the same fractured prayer over and over. Events in the house become harder and harder to explain, and as Cassie's battle with her stepbrothers draws everyone deeper into the mystery, all four kids are forced to confront the question of just who the intruders really are. And that's the back of it. So, yeah, I love this cover. So freaking cool. Love it. The words, though, are big. Looks like a middle grade book, the way it's written. I don't know, we'll see. 277 pages. Another book by E.E. Richardson, it shows in the back, is called The Devil's Footsteps. Some nightmares don't end when you open your eyes. That's another cool looking one. So I'll tell you what, if this book is good and not too middle grade level for me, I think I'll check that out because that looks really good. Then we have Fade to Black by Alex Flynn. I wanted to get the books Alex Flynn had on there because, like I say, after reading Breaking Point, this one's very small book. I realized I needed to take matters into my own hands, is what the front says. And on the back it says, 3 perspectives, 1 truth. The victim. After his windshield was shattered with a baseball bat, HIV positive Alex Cruzen ducked under the steering wheel, but he knows what he saw. Now he must decide what he wants to tell. The witness. Daria Bickle never lies. So if she told the police she saw Clinton Cole do it, she must have. But did she really? The suspect. Clinton was seen in the vicinity of the crime that morning, and sure, he has problems with Alex, but he'd never do something like this, would he? So that sounds good. Yeah, I can't wait to read this one too. And this one's short. This one's actually only 180-something pages. 184. There's also a reading group guide, so it's got questions back there. So yeah. So that's that. Let's see, I got 4 more here. This next one, Hey Nostradamus, by Douglas Coupland. This one sounded really interesting too, and I do like this cover. I like that. I've never heard of this one before. A lot of them I haven't heard of until I go to the site, so I find that quite interesting. I like it. 244 pages. It says, pregnant and secretly married, Cheryl Anway scribbles what becomes her last will and testament on a school binder shortly before a rampaging trio of misfit classmates gun her down in a high school cafeteria. Overrun with paranoia, teen angst, and religious zeal in the massacre's wake, the sleepy suburban neighborhood declares its saints, brands its demons, and moves on. But for a handful of people still reeling from that horrific day, life remains permanently derailed. 4 dramatically different characters tell their stories. Cheryl, who calmly narrates her own death. Jason, the boy no one knew was her husband, still marooned 10 years later by his loss. Heather, the woman trying to love the shattered Jason, and Jason's father, Reg, whose rigid religiosity has separated him from nearly everyone he loves. Hey Nostradamus is an unforgettable portrait of people wrestling with spirituality and with sorrow and its acceptance. I just thought it sounded really good. The school shooting is what really drew me into it. So, next book I got, The Addict by Michael Stein. 1 Patient, 1 Doctor, 1 Year. I'm really excited about this book too. And actually, this one might have been the one that was supposed to be damaged, or I forgot what they call it, but truthfully, I don't see anything wrong with it. Or maybe I didn't get the one that was. I don't remember. This one, okay, I'm just going to read you a little blurb from the back, or a little thing from the back, because I know the time's really going. It says, "The Addict is a beautifully told story of addiction, but from the perspective of a physician whose vast experience working with people caught up in substance abuse reveals itself not in cynicism, but in great insight, empathy, and compassion. Stein's experience and writing skills provide a window to what is about being human that drives us to addiction and what it takes us to be rescued." So it actually follows one patient, and she's addicted to prescription pills. So I found it quite intriguing. I know there are mixed reviews on this. Some people said that it sounded more like the psychiatrist was, or doctor, whatever he was just trying to talk about himself, basically. So, but that'll be neat to read. The next one I got. Ooh. I like how this feels. Dead High Yearbook. This is really neat. It's like cushiony. Look at the back. I had to have this book when I seen it. That is so cool. And it's like fingers here, like someone gripped it. Wow. Huh? Look at that. Wow, how cool. And then, I'm so excited. How neat. And it is actually, what are those called? Yeah, well, it's one of these books. Which, I don't usually read these, and I don't have any, so I thought it was time. Graphic novel. So I thought it was time I would try one. And because this one's about zombies and that, I thought it would be really cool. I don't know if I'll read it, to be honest with you. I really doubt I will. But I just wanted to have it. And I'm really excited because this is very well made. Very artistically made. It is not just paper and then the stuff inside, the pages inside. This is very, very cool. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. Look at that. The artwork in this is so good. At least for my standards, it is. Yeah. Awesome. And then the last one I got, I think I may be excited about. I didn't get to read too much about it. This is not too bad. It's not what I thought it was going to be. But whatever. It's my book journal. And because when I read the description on this, it said basically that you just write down the books that you've read in that. So I thought, because that other book journal I have only has a few pages to do that. And then there's like pages for like all other things. So I thought, well, this would be cool because I can have a book just strictly for all that. But no, it's a hardback. But it does have a young boy here, and it does have kids' books on it. So it looks like it's just for teens, which I didn't realize that. And actually on the back here, it says gift children. So I didn't realize that. It's Velcroed on the front. And you have on the front here, there's a pocket. There's a pocket here. And there's also the same pocket on the back inside cover. Yeah, my book journal, this journal belongs to, yeah, definitely kid stuff. So maybe I still might keep it, because name a book, author, date I read this book, what was this book about, things I liked about the book, things I didn't like, would you recommend this book to any of your friends, and how many stars out of 5 would you give it, which is really cool, because that's how many stars I do anyways. So I may still keep it, because that's all it says throughout the whole thing. And I like that. But I'm going to run out of pages on this really quick, because it's got pictures and stuff in it. Yeah, and I would say I'd give it to my daughter, but my daughter, oh my gosh, forget it. She is, yeah. In the back it says books I want to read. My favorite school stories, my favorite space and science fiction stories, my favorite fantasy and magic stories. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I won't, because there's really not that many pages. So I may give this as a giveaway too. So we'll see. Or maybe I will give it to Mia, because Mia does like to write a lot. She does keep journals. So alright guys, that's it. That is it. All done until next week, or unless I decide to get some bargain books off of Amazon. Alright guys, bye.